afternoon, everyone. I'm Hector Balderas, and I'm going to call this meeting to order, but before I do, I'd like us all to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. I hereby call this meeting to order. The first item of business is roll call, and I would like to actually each of the honorable board members to introduce ourselves. And I actually will start with me. I'm Hector Balderas, Attorney General of New Mexico, but more importantly, serve as your chair for the next 3.5 years. I do want to welcome everyone and also commend my gratitude to the general public that's in attendance, and most importantly, for the honor and the privilege to preside over not only an important board, but what is more importantly a very important mission to the citizens of New Mexico. And I look forward to a productive tenure with all of you, addressing both curriculum and other issues that come about as a result of the board's mission. I will then now defer to my vice chair, and we can respectfully introduce ourselves. Do we have a vice chair?
No, sir, we don't have
that's one of our orders of business. Okay. Let's actually start off to the far left. And
I'm Wesley Waller. I'm the Curry County Sheriff.
My name is Nate Korn. I am one of the citizen representatives to the board.
I'm Pete Casetas, Chief of the State Police.
My name is Pat Barncastle. I'm the District Attorney Representative.
My name is Rick Ward, and I'm counsel to the Law Enforcement Academy Board. I'm Assistant Attorney General in the Open Government Division.
Good afternoon. My name is Darren Solon, Chief of Police for Raymond Navajo Tribal Police Department.
My name is Jaime Quesada. I'm a Sergeant of the Las Cruces Police Department. I'm representing the line officer.
Chris McCall, Chief of Hobbs Police Department, representing municipal chiefs.
We are now ready to open up to the floor for public comment. I have 3 individuals who've signed up. I do ask that we honor a 2-minute time commitment, and but it would be an honor to hear from the general public at this time. The chair, in the order of the way they signed up, the chair recognizes Ms. Mary Shoemaker to come up and give some remarks. I do appreciate it. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, honorable members of the board. My name is Mary Shoemaker. I'm here because yesterday marked the 1-year anniversary of the death of my son, Victor Villalpando, by an Española policeman here in Española. I want to welcome you to our town. I meant to say that first. And I want to ask you to use your humanity, your experience, and your knowledge of teenagers to work together with the public to try to change your training so that this kind of thing doesn't happen anymore. I think that New Mexico can be a leader in how we as a public view each other. We don't have to be enemies, and I think that's enough said. But thank you very much for allowing me to comment. And in honor of my son, I ask you to look at how we can make changes. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Appreciate it. At this time, I'd like to recognize Ms. Michelle to speak about the charter.
Is there a possibility?
Good afternoon. Well, thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. I'm Chris Charles, and this comment will not be related to my later agenda item. So, it will be related to, though, I gave the secretary a handout for you all related to my comments. So if you can find that, that would be useful. You have 2 handouts from me, and this is one of them.
Give us 1 second.
It has the board description on the front of it. Suzanne Martinez, you should have that from her.
And I believe all our board has the documents that...
Actually, there's 2 documents, Mr. Chair.
That's correct. Now,
yeah, this is one of the ones I'm referring to right now.
great.
It has the post, basically has a description of, I'm sorry, it has a description of the New Mexico Law Enforcement Academy board on the front of it.
We've got it, sir, and
Okay. I will be referring to it, that's.
absolutely. You have the floor, and
Thank you.
and your time.
But before I get to that, though, there's 2 other points that I would like to address briefly. First off, I highly commend the chair for his public declaration in the media to commit to transparency and solving problems, and addressing the curriculum issues, and also to addressing the issues with police discipline. I think those are 3 very important items, and I think they're all very needful of his attention and of yours. The next item I would suggest is a procedural issue. I just made available to you a copy of my comments, and I'm also making them available to the public for later agenda item. I hope that the other people who present agenda items are also requested to make their written support documents available to the public so that we might be informed. That hasn't been board policy in the past. It was board policy at the last meeting, however. Again, I'm requesting that people on the agenda make their written documentation available to the public so that we can have an open public meeting. The other issue I have also on the matter of transparency is I think Mr. Korn has an agenda item which concerns the rights of the public, and I hope that the public will be allowed to comment on that agenda item when it comes up, because he's talking about things that directly affect us, and we should be able to speak to them. So that concerns those bookkeeping items. What this is about is, oops, sorry, I hope that this may be, in fact, I hope it is old information to all of you. It is not old information to the public, and it may well not be to you. What I'm going to be talking about is the charter of this board. It never seems to get discussed. I came across recently, I was looking at the lesson plans. Some of the few lesson plans that are available. One of them is they were instructing the cadets as to the role of the LEA board. There is no mention in that lesson plan of the actual role of the LEA board. None. So for their benefit, and for yours perhaps, the role of the LEA board, briefly. Founding 1969, this is the founding document. The 1969 legislature founded the board as an independent entity. Independent, key word. From there, I would call your attention to the Law Enforcement Academy Board description, which is available on the governor's website, in which it describes the Law Enforcement Academy Board. The board is the Police Officer Standards and Training, POST, agency in New Mexico, which awards law enforcement certificates and so forth. Mr. Jones is your current representative to POST. This is important. 1969 was a time when we were founding such organizations nationwide. It was a move toward police standards nationwide. New Mexico was one of the post organizations founded at that time. The post organizations were...
I don't want to interrupt you. I just want to be respectful. We have a 2-minute limit. We're now nearing 4 minutes.
I thought we had 5 minutes.
I think it was 2
Did you say 2? It's always been 5.
I'm not, it was 2, but
Did you?
I'm taking some discretion in letting you over. I just want to be respectful.
Okay,
We have more.
I thought it was 5, I'll wrap it up, and no more, if you have 1 more minute, I'll wrap it up. I thought it was 5 minutes, that's what it's always been. Anyway, lastly, in a hurry, the document which governs, I should say governs, but is accepted as the consensus standard of POST. Again, POST includes New Mexico Law Enforcement Academy Board, is on their website, IADLS model minimum standards, and it defines, among other things, how curriculums are to be developed, how testing is to be developed. These are standards that we ostensibly all subscribe to by being members of POST organization. What I'm going to tell you today is, and that needs to be looking into, is in the changes that were made by this board in 2013, I maintain that we took these standards and without once mentioning them, we threw them in the trash. We have ignored these standards, and these standards are part of the description for which POST was founded. They're the reason for the board's existence. I suggest we need to get back on board and follow these standards, which we did, by the way, until 2003, when Secretary Danko forced out the Law Enforcement Academy board director at that time and installed his own man. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Michaud, for coming in and expressing those thoughts. Ms. Anaya, is Ms. Anaya here for public comment? Whichever microphone you feel comfortable.
Good afternoon, Honorable Hector Valdez and New Mexico Law Enforcement Board Academy. My name is Teresa Anaya. I am the mother of Jeanette Anaya, the person that Oliver Wilson shot and killed. On the evening of November 6, 2013, my last conversation with my daughter as she left for the evening was, "I'll see you later, Mom. Don't worry about me. I'll be okay. I love you." I replied, "Be careful. I love you too." On the morning of November 7, 2013, 2 state police officers came to tell us that our daughter had been shot. I began to scream hysterically. "Where is she? Is she going to be okay? What happened? Who shot her?" They replied with no compassion, "She was shot by police." "I'm telling you, we don't know what happened. It's under investigation. Your daughter is gone." We were told by the medical examiner that 2 bullets entered and exited her body, one in the back and exited in her front lung, the other on the top of her head and exited in her right cheek, her left cheek. Because I didn't want that to be our lasting image of her. We couldn't even hold her and kiss her and tell her we loved her one last time. In January 2014, the jury ruled the shooting justified. We were devastated. It wasn't until then that we were able to view the dash cam video. To this day, the video is available online. It clearly shows Oliver Wilson never shot 4 warning shots. He shot 16 consecutive times as my daughter tried to get away from him. The evidence is in the video. Wilson perjured himself. The investigation and the DA covered and supported his lies. The pursuit was illegal. Had he followed the law, this senseless tragedy would have never happened. I am Jeanette's voice now, and as her mother, I challenge you to view that video and see what we see what the public sees, and see what is necessary and lawfully right and lawfully just. My daughter's death must not have been in vain. Please, please, will you respond to that? Will you respond to my request? Our faith in God has helped us live through this tragedy. We hope and pray that no other family will endure the heartache and the emptiness that my daughter's death has left upon us. Our lives will never be the same. My heart and prayers go out to Officer Greg, Benner's wife and children, We feel their pain. Thank you for your time. Sincerely, the Anaya family.
Thank you, Ms. Anaya, for your words.
Thank you.
It means a lot that you're here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner, for coming as well. Is Mr. Montoya here? Dr. Montoya? You have the floor, sir.
Thank you so much. My name is Roger Montoya. I work with children and youth in the Valley, hundreds. I've done this for about 25 years. Victor Villalpando was one of my students. I met him when he was 5 years old. I stand before you with great respect. Your jobs are among the most important in this society. I know that you work tirelessly to do the very best that you can do, and I honor that. In working with children, the most poignant thing that I can say is, and watching what's been happening across our nation and perhaps across the globe, is that with the militarization of police force, there may be a lack of nuance and the ability to really discern what's happening on a case-by-case basis. Now, from your side, you might say, well, we're in the moment of split-second decision and the public doesn't understand that, and that is probably true. But if we could bring to bear the practitioners and the training in a broad, full spectrum to bring the appropriate person to answer calls, to understand. In Victor's case, there were many calls he was making. He was in trouble. He was struggling and he was making calls for help, I believe. We can't bring him back. I wish we could. He was an incredible young man. But what we can do is work together to try to be better. And again, I respect your work, and if I can be of any service to save the children and the young people of this community and many others, I'm at your service. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Dr. Singleton? We also thank you for coming. You have the floor.
Thank you for giving us a forum to speak with you on this occasion. I'm Dr. Tamara Singleton. Victor Villalpando was my patient. And like most doctors in the world, youth safety is a huge, huge priority for us. And it's horrible to see a young man in crisis being taken from us in this way. Like you have, I'm sure, done a lot of studying, and I think it's wonderful that so many of the training officers are here. And so I'm interested in the crisis intervention management. And when I've studied this and spoken with people from other police departments throughout the nation, I see that a lot of, there's so much less spent on ER visits, so many fewer deaths of citizens and police officers. And I feel that if we go ahead and keep on with our training for how to manage crisis situations, we're going to lose a lot fewer citizens and police officers. There'll be a lot less injury being done, and we'll be a safer society. We need to come together as a society to solve this problem. It shouldn't be us and them. We don't need to have any of our mothers crying if they're a mother of a police officer or any of our local youth or grown-ups for that matter. And so I just wanted to express my support for any type of improved crisis intervention that we can have as part of our police officer training. In addition, we need to monitor the attitudes. I speak to police officers when I see them. They tell me they've been taught shoot to kill. And to me, there's, as Roger said, a lot more nuance than us and them and shoot to kill. I agree with the gentleman who spoke earlier. We should be able to give studies to back up what we've said, and I've researched this thoroughly. Anyone who wants to ask me, I've read these articles, and I think that we could be benefited immeasurably in our society and be a lot safer if we were to embrace these methods or whatever other methods we can use for better safety. And thank you again for letting me speak with you, and I hope you all will be safe on the job.
Well, I want to thank all the members of the public for the expression of not only your thoughts but your concerns. I, on behalf of many of these board members who have already served on the board and who are new today, there's 3 of us today that are completely new to the process and new to this mission in terms of what we're trying to do for our community. Wanted to thank you for your public input. You have our commitment that we will be looking at ways to value the community and that everyone is safe. And then secondly, that we honor you. There are no us against them in terms of the loss of life. And we appreciate you also mentioning Officer Benner as well. But that will be a focus of this board as well, to make sure that we do everything we can to minimize loss of life in the community, and that there are no us of them. So thank you very much for the public comments.